her story of sexual harassment, but she cannot. That's because back in 2015, the woman signed a confidentiality agreement as part of a $27,000 settlement with Conyers. Now her high-profile attorney is calling on the Democratic lawmaker to release her from that contract, which she claims she was, quote, forced to sign. Here's how Conyers' attorney has responded to her request.
If you say you were harassed, don't sign it. Go to trial.
All right,
so then
yes
we wouldn't
or no?
have these conversations about, well, should they have not signed, or should we go back some 10, 15 years ago and say that, can we let somebody out of a settlement agreement? You shouldn't have signed it. If you say that you were harassed, you want your day in court. That's how it works.
Lisa Bloom represents a woman who filed the sexual harassment complaint against Congressman John Conyers. She joins me now. How are you going to crack this, Lisa? She signed that agreement. The lawyer has made no indication that she will be let go from her agreement. What's going to happen next?
Well, first of all, it's completely offensive to suggest that a woman who signs a confidentiality agreement is somehow lying about sexual harassment. 95% of civil cases in this country, including sexual harassment cases, end in settlements. Is he suggesting that all of those women are lying about sexual harassment? And what's come to light in the last few days is the silencing machine that the Office of Compliance has become. Anybody who wants to file a complaint, they go effectively to HR for Congress, which is the Office of Compliance. They immediately have to agree to confidential mediation. They have to agree to keep their allegations confidential. And if they reach an agreement, they have to keep everything confidential going forward. Again, not just the amount, but the underlying allegations, which I can tell you as a sexual harassment attorney for 31 years, that is very, very broad. So here's how we intend to get around it, okay? A subpoena will always trump a confidentiality agreement. My client can be subpoenaed by the Ethics Committee, and I will say here and now that I'm very happy to accept a subpoena on her behalf. We will fully cooperate with the Ethics Committee and any other body that can lawfully issue a subpoena, and she will be happy to come in and testify. She has a powerful story to tell.
Lisa, you talk about how you've been a sexual harassment attorney now for many years, decades. I would be remiss if I were not to ask you about your involvement with Harvey Weinstein and the allegations that you went to Ronan Farrow and tried to give opposition research about his accusers, about Rose McGowan. The excerpt from the Daily Beast article that describes this says, hold on, despite being advised that her assertions were false, Bloom repeatedly claimed to a series of media outlets that considered publishing Masters' story. This is another woman that was accusing Roy Price. Hold on. Another woman accusing Roy Price of Amazon, publishing Masters' story about Price's alleged misconduct that represented journalists who had tried to shake down her client for advertising money for her weekly radio show. Listen, my question to you is, these allegations, haven't they damaged your reputation as an advocate for women?
So that question was, with all due respect, all over the map. That was not about Weinstein. That was about a different client.
Okay, fine. Weinstein and Roy Price. Right. Let's address Weinstein first. With Weinstein and the Rose McGowan allegations from Ronan Farrow, do you deny calling reporters and offering opposition research about victims? So you never did that?
I absolutely deny that. And unfortunately, I cannot talk about Weinstein because I'm no longer authorized to talk about Weinstein. With regard to the other allegation that you brought up, there are emails to substantiate that. But look, here's the bigger question. Over the 31 years where I have been primarily representing victims, have I occasionally represented some men who were accused? Yes, I have. Most people who do this kind of work do, some percentage of their work, they also represent accused men. These accused men maintain that they are innocent or that charges are overblown. They're entitled to lawyers as well. And what I have decided going forward is I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't think it's the best use of my time, but 99% of the cases that I have done have been on behalf of victims. I want to say about this woman in particular, she has a very powerful, important story to tell about John Conyers. And why are our tax dollars going to silence victims, to silence staffers of Congress people? I mean, shouldn't we shine the light and have some transparency if they have a story to tell? I think that's the important issue today.
I think that is a 100% an important issue. I won't argue with you on that point. But when you say you've been representing some men who have been accused in the past, you were a part of the team for Harvey Weinstein, who opened the doors for all of this, Lisa. This is a man who's been accused by a number of women of not just inappropriate touching or groping, but rape. I mean, these are so far beyond just harassment allegations. These are rape allegations. Without the accusers coming forward against Harvey Weinstein, we would not be having this conversation right now. So my question to you, Lisa, is if you really care about the victim that you are representing and you really want to get her message out there, do you believe that you are the best person to represent her in doing that, especially when you're always going to have an interview where a reporter asks you about the stuff about Weinstein that's going to get muddied?
Okay, so, I was asked the same thing when I represented accusers against Bill O'Reilly. Lisa, are you really the right person to do this because you're a Democrat and Bill O'Reilly is conservative? Over the last 31 years, I've been asked many times if I am the right person. I have dozens of people reaching out to me every day for help. I have one of the largest civil rights law firms in the country here in Los Angeles. We help a lot of people, many of them pro bono. Am I the right person? Many of my clients say, you are my last resort. Nobody else would help me. And I am very happy to help people. I have apologized for mistakes that I have made. Most of us have made mistakes in our career, and I am very sorry for the mistakes that I have made. I am no longer authorized to talk about Weinstein. I am very happy about all of the women who are coming forward. Many of them are calling me, as I say, every day. We're advising them of what their rights are just as fast as we can. But I assure you, I'm going to continue to go forward and fight for victims as I have for many, many years. I learned from my mistakes. I'm an adult. I do things wrong. I hope to grow. And that's about all I can tell you.
Let's hope that your accuser for John Conyers is able to tell her story. Civil rights attorney Lisa Bloom, thank you very much for coming on.